As you can see in the footage here, we are tracking the salvage operations in Sicily of the sunken sailing yacht Bayesian. The footage has been filmed in the last couple of hours. Now, the footage shows the salvage platforms that will be used to recover the sunken sailing yacht that sank here in August last year. The smaller platform is named Hebo Lift 2, and that platform has been on site for a number of days now. But as you can see in the footage you're watching, the larger Hebo Lift 10 is just arriving at the scene. Now, Italian authorities have placed a cordon on the salvage site. This prevents any vessels other than those authorized as part of that salvage to enter the zone. The cordon is being guarded by the Italian Coast Guards, as you may be able to see in the footage here. There's also a no flyover zone of any aircraft with an altitude of under 200 meters. As you can see from the footage here, we're using very long zooms so we can zoom in to see what's happening without, getting in the way or breaking any rules. You can see in the footage here the Coast Guard boat, which is on the perimeter of that cordon that we mentioned earlier. Now, a lot of people ask about who's paying for this, why it's being raised. In a recent interview, Nick Sloan, who was the overseer of the Costa Concordia salvage, he was interviewed on TRT network, which is a Turkish network. They asked him who was paying for it, and he said the owner's liability insurance, which is normally called a P&I club, Protection and Indemnity Club, and in this case it's British Marine, which is a large, well-established UK-based P&I club. They've been around since the 1800s. He said the Italian authorities issued a wreck removal order, and that was passed on from the owner of the Bayesian, which was Mike Lynch's wife. She's named as the owner of the company which owns the yacht. She passed that on to her indemnity insurance, and then the indemnity insurance put it out for tender and selected a company to do the salvage, in this case Smith Salvage. The salvage operation will be handled in two stages. The first stage will be to remove that 72-meter mast from the vessel, recover the mast, and then the second part of the operation will be to recover the hull of the vessel itself. Now, we've had lots of comments ever since we mentioned that the vessel was going to be raised as to if this vessel would go back into service. The answer to that question will be undoubtedly no. The vessel's being raised because of the rules or the regulations in Italy regarding the salvage of a wreck, and also for the investigation into why the vessel sank. Vessel will almost certainly be scrapped after that. I don't think, even if it was possible to put the vessel back into service, which with it being lying on the seabed for almost a year now, it's highly unlikely that it would be salvageable. I don't think anybody would want to sail on a vessel that's had 7 fatalities on it anyway. So the answer to the question is no, it's not going to be used again as a yacht. It's the investigation, and then it will most likely be scrapped. Now, they're looking at 2 to 3 weeks to complete the salvage operation. According to Nick Sloan, according to that interview again, he said that the 2nd or 3rd week of May, they should be doing the lift of the hull. Now, that's dependent on the weather. And as we know all too well, the weather in this part of the world can be very volatile, which is the reason, that's the reason why we're here in the first place, right? Because of bad weather. So hopefully by the 3rd week in May, the operation should be complete. But if the weather doesn't play ball, then it could stretch to the end of the month or even into June. Now, this is assuming they don't find any issues with the yacht hull. As the salvage operation goes, they could find structural damage that happened, for instance, when the vessel hit the seabed, and it might not be visible to them at the moment. We're going to be bringing you updates on the recovery operation every day, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already and hit the bell for future notifications on this and all other subjects. Also, FYI, there could be more than one video posted on the channel whilst this recovery operation is ongoing, so be prepared for that. Thanks very much for watching this video. You've been watching a Super Yacht News clip. If you'd like to see the full unedited Super Yacht News video, you can click on the link over here. You can also find our channel links below here. And if you'd like to see more shorter videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to this channel.